The official notice is finally on its way. The courts have delivered their verdict regarding the money that was stolen from you, and justice is about to be served. The person who betrayed your trust, manipulated you, and took what was rightfully yours is not only being ordered to pay it all back, they're facing prison time. Behind the scenes, the legal system has uncovered every detail, the paper trail, the lies, the layers of fraud. All the while, you waited with patience as the law worked quietly in your favor. Now your funds are being returned, your name is being cleared, and someone close to you will soon serve time for the harm they caused. The universe has restored balance, and there is no escape for those who schemed against you. When the letter arrives, thick, weighty, stamped with the official government seal, and your name boldly printed, you know instantly that your world is about to change. Within these pages is the confirmation you've always suspected but never could prove. Silent, methodical investigation has built a case so strong that no loophole remains for those who thought they could outsmart justice. Every act of financial fraud committed in your name has been exposed, every deceptive move tracked, every stolen transaction cataloged, every forged document now undeniable evidence of betrayal. What once was only a whisper of suspicion now stands unshakable in legal precedent. The legal system is moved with precision, gathering evidence in the shadows until the truth could no longer be denied. Your case has reached the moment where silence ends and real consequences begin. The turning point when those who thrived in deception are finally brought into the light. This is no coincidence. The wheels of justice have turned at their own pace, grinding steadily toward this moment of reckoning that can no longer be postponed. Years of hidden wrongdoing have finally met their match, and the universe has spoken. Now is the time. The documents reveal assets you never even knew existed, money routed through secret accounts, property signed away without your knowledge, your name buried in deeds as if you were invisible. But ghosts don't sign documents. And now the truth rises up from the grave of lost opportunities. Your bloodline carries an ancient, undeniable power. This was never ordinary theft, but a calculated hijacking of generational wealth that was always meant to be yours. Your birthright, your hidden inheritance, stretches far beyond just money. Land holdings, investment portfolios, and trust funds established generations ago, all earmarked for you, are finally being restored. Family trees can be trimmed and altered to redirect wealth and power, and your branch was intentionally cut from official records. Paperwork manipulated, lineages rewritten, and family matters whispered about in secrecy. Those hushed conversations behind closed doors weren't just idle gossip. They were strategic meetings designed to keep you from ever discovering the truth. Generations ago, great-grandparents put protections in place for their descendants, but someone deliberately dismantled those safeguards over time. Royal blood doesn't announce itself with grand gestures. It quietly flows through veins, often unnoticed, until fate reveals its true strength. Throughout history, powerful families have played out this same scenario. Chosen heirs separated from their destinies by layers of deception. Rightful inheritors kept in the dark, while others enjoyed their abundance. Think of the Romanovs, the Habsburgs, the Windsors. Dynasties with hidden heirs and stolen legacies. Your own story mirrors this ancient pattern, except this time, you've lived to see justice come full circle. The wealth was always meant for you, and now the courts have finally confirmed that fact. Betrayal like this requires deep access, intimate knowledge, trust, and proximity. The architects of this theft weren't distant strangers. They sat beside you at the dinner table, celebrated your milestones, and posed as your protectors. A matriarch with calculating eyes, the woman who claimed to nurture you while secretly signing away your assets. Her signature appears again and again on transfer documents. The friend whose sudden prosperity never quite made sense, masking ambition behind concerned words, secretly feeding off what was stolen from you. The patriarch who enforced family rules meant to keep you confused and dependent, building his authority on the wealth diverted from your own birthright. Together they spun an elaborate mythology, tales of family hardship, stories of modest means, all while your inheritance quietly funded their secret luxuries. These weren't impulsive crimes, they were long-term strategies executed over decades, conscious choices to steal not just your money, but your very identity. Their greatest crime was erasing the truth about who you are. Now, the courts have pulled apart every layer of deception, naming each conspirator, documenting every betrayal. Your story echoes the ancient pattern of chosen ones hidden from their true place. Like Moses raised in Pharaoh's house, monarchs separated from their crowns by complex schemes. But unlike those lost to history, your story ends with restoration, not with continued deception. Official court documents don't lie. Sealed rulings confirm the truth. You are the rightful owner of all assets previously diverted from your possession. The language is precise. Fraudulent conveyance, unlawful conversion of assets, breach of fiduciary duty, all detailing exactly how your wealth was systematically stolen. Your name is now listed in the rightful claimant section of every legal document, confirmed beyond contestation. Forensic accountants have traced every hidden dollar, every property transferred through shell companies, every investment masked behind corporate veils, every road leading back to those you once trusted. Judges have reviewed the evidence thoroughly, and their conclusions are unanimous. The legal system rarely moves with such certainty unless a case is completely airtight. The principle of restitution requires full restoration, meaning what was taken will now be returned, with interest. As your name is cleared from any fraudulent record and your rightful place in the family is restored, know that the universe always operates according to higher laws. Balance must be restored, and now, through the courts, cosmic justice is simply being made official. Prepare for the restoration of everything that was ever stolen from you. The decree has been signed and the process of justice is now in motion. Everything about their lifestyle was built on foundations stolen from you. Your inheritance funded their comfortable existence. From vacation homes purchased with diverted trust fund payments to luxury vehicles acquired with forged loan documents bearing your signature. Even their private education was financed by investment accounts meant for your future. They flaunted wealth they never earned, buying status and privilege with what was rightfully yours. This betrayal didn't stop with immediate family. Extended relatives chose silence. Financial advisors looked the other way and legal counsel drafted documents they knew would hide the theft. Now, everyone who benefited from this elaborate scheme must face the consequences. The courts have identified every participant and named them in official proceedings, with documentation confirming each person's involvement. These were not desperate people stealing to survive. These were privileged individuals, greedily accumulating what was never theirs. Their actions show clear premeditation, with tax shelters established years in advance, offshore accounts created to obscure the paper trail, and legal structures built to hide ownership. Some received direct payouts, others accepted lavish gifts bought with your money, while many simply enjoyed lives elevated by the resources you were denied. Perhaps the most insidious betrayal came from those who knew what was happening and chose to remain silent, witnesses to your loss who became complicit through their inaction. Family reunions were held on your stolen inheritance. Holiday gatherings were paid for with your diverted funds, and conversations always shifted the moment you walked into the room. The courts have now tracked every beneficiary, every accomplice, every silent partner in this decades-long deception. The comfortable lives they built from your legacy are about to unravel. And let's pause for a moment to salute those who were never meant to fit in, because they were born to stand out. Quick pause, family. If this message resonates with your soul and you'd like to support this sacred work, you can buy me a coffee to help keep this space filled with truth, light, and divine clarity. The link is in the description. And if you're feeling this, drop a number 88 in the comments. Let's keep moving forward. If supporting isn't for you, that's okay. We'll still be here, watching, guiding, and helping shift reality itself. This is for the ones who don't need recognition, who never ask for permission, and who simply walk in their power. Here's to you. Now legal consequences are arriving with undeniable force. Someone is going to prison. The courts don't issue these kinds of rulings lightly. Criminal charges follow civil judgments when fraud is this widespread, and federal sentencing guidelines are clear. Financial crimes that violate trust bring the harshest penalties. The documentation confirms multiple felonies committed across state lines, and their names will now forever appear in court records. These are criminal charges that can never be erased, public records for anyone to see. Reputations that took lifetimes to build are now dissolving under the clear light of legal proceedings. Community standing vanishes overnight when fraud is exposed, and once proud professional credentials become worthless when they're linked to felony convictions. The mastermind behind this entire scheme faces the harshest consequences. Years behind bars, left to reckon with the devastation their greed has caused. There are no country club accommodations for financial crimes of this magnitude in federal facilities. Accomplices receive sentences that match their level of involvement, some negotiating for reduced time in exchange for testimony, but all facing strict restrictions on movement, employment, and financial activities. Every asset obtained through fraud, houses, vehicles, investment accounts, will be seized and returned to its rightful owner. They once believed their power was absolute, that their control was permanent and their crimes undetectable. Never in their wildest imaginations did they see themselves standing before a judge, listening as the details of their deception were read aloud, or seeing their names etched into official court documents describing their elaborate fraud. They never anticipated the cold reality of legal consequences. Throughout history, major criminal empires have made the same fatal mistake, believing their power was immune to judgment. Roman emperors, medieval lords, modern financial masterminds, all eventually faced the reckoning. Their fate was sealed the moment they chose deception over honesty, selfish gain over family duty. Now, the courts are simply enacting the inevitable. The transfer of power is immediate and unmistakable. With the court's declaration, reality itself is reshaped. Yesterday, they held the reins. Today, that authority belongs to you. This isn't a gradual shift, but a sweeping transformation by legal proclamation. Assets frozen in their accounts now flow back to you. Properties once bearing their names become yours by court order, and investment portfolios they manage transfer to your control. Their signatures are now meaningless on financial documents. Yours is the only authorization that matters. The balance of power has flipped entirely. Those who once dictated terms now receive instructions. Those who controlled resources now ask for permission, and those who made decisions now await your direction. This transformation extends far beyond finances. Your voice now carries the weight and influence they once enjoyed, and your choices begin to shape the future they once controlled. Your truth, backed by legal recognition, overwrites the false stories they once spread. At family gatherings, the energy shifts in your favor. Business meetings and social circles rearrange themselves to recognize your rightful place. The respect that was once theirs now flows to you, and when you enter a room, conversations pause for a new reason: recognition of your restored status. This isn't just about reclaiming wealth, it's about restoring your influence, your deserved respect, and your ability to move through the world free from the artificial barriers they created. The shift may feel strange at first after living so long under a manufactured reality, but that discomfort is simply the feeling of realignment with truth, not a step away from it. Royal blood finds its proper channel. The throne returns to its true heir, and the crown finally rests where it belongs. The courts have merely formalized a cosmic correction already in progress, the universe restoring order after a long disruption. Your power was never lost, only waiting quietly until the moment was right for full restoration. Now watch their responses closely, because how they react will reveal everything. Some will cling to denial, insisting, "I never knew," or "This is all a misunderstanding," as they scramble to rewrite reality even when the evidence is undeniable. Others will attempt strategic apologies, with carefully crafted words that dodge responsibility. "I'm sorry you feel hurt," or "We never intended for things to end up like this." Empty phrases meant to manipulate while avoiding accountability. But perhaps the most revealing reaction will be silent panic, frantic calls to attorneys, and a sudden interest in offshore accounts, as they desperately try to shield themselves from the consequences. Behind closed doors, banking regulations and hushed conversations about extradition treaties reveal their growing fear. On the surface, they keep up appearances, acting calm for the world and offering brave statements to family, but their private actions betray their panic. In secret, they transfer whatever assets remain into hidden accounts and quietly prepare escape plans, all while reassuring those around them that everything is under control. Suddenly, after years of distance, they reach out with unexpected messages, expressing concern for your well-being or inviting you to private talks about family matters, each attempt a thinly veiled manipulation to protect themselves. Some try to leverage old emotional ties, reminding you of the past. "After all we've been through, we're still family, aren't we?" Hoping to use sentimentality for legal advantage. Others employ intimidation, offering subtle threats and implying that seeking justice might not be worth the cost. These are desperate tactics from people who have lost real power. The most calculating attempt to divide your supporters, spreading conflicting stories to create confusion and maintain control. But their words are empty. Their actions revealed their true character long ago. Throughout history, the powerful have always resorted to these classic tactics when cornered. Denial until the evidence is overwhelming, artificial remorse when denial fails, and frantic maneuvering when the consequences finally close in. They are following the predictable playbook of the guilty, but nothing they do can change the judgment already rendered. The courts saw through every defense, every manipulation, every delay. Now everything built on stolen foundations collapses at once. Bank accounts are frozen by court order, credit cards suddenly stop working, and notices of asset seizure arrive at every property. Their financial reality is destroyed overnight. Social consequences follow just as quickly. Phone calls stop, invitations disappear, and former friends go silent as soon as criminal charges become public. The impact on their professional life is equally severe. Licenses revoked, board seats lost, business partnerships dissolved, and careers forever tainted by felony convictions. Family bonds buckle under the pressure. Marriages collapse as financial security evaporates. Children pull away from disgraced parents, and relatives are forced to pick sides as divisions deepen. The psychological fallout is unavoidable. Stress leads to insomnia, anxiety, and health problems as the mind and body struggle to cope with total life collapse. The faster and higher they rose through deception, the more dramatic and complete their downfall. They're forced to face the same uncertainty, instability, and loss of identity they once inflicted upon you. The symmetry of the outcome serves its own justice. Desperate attempts to control the damage fail, legal appeals are denied, character witnesses disappear, and the evidence remains undeniable, no matter how hard they try to challenge it. The universe delivers consequence not through mystical intervention, but through the inevitable results of their own choices. This isn't about your revenge. It's natural law restoring balance. Their destruction isn't yours to carry. Their own actions created these outcomes long before the truth surfaced. There's no need to celebrate or mourn, only to acknowledge that deception always collapses under its own weight. Truth liberates instantly, and with this knowledge, old shackles finally break. Your instincts were right all along, and the disconnect between what you sensed and what you were told is over. That constant inner conflict ends now. You can feel the certainty in your body, the tension dissolves as reality catches up to your intuition. The exhaustion of endless doubt finally lifts. You're not just joining reality. Reality is finally matching what you always knew deep down. This revelation doesn't just end a chapter, it shatters patterns that have extended far beyond your own lifetime. Generational curses of financial manipulation, cycles of ancestral identity suppression, and long-standing family traditions of power distortion are finally broken. The courts have only formalized what spiritual law had already decreed. The moment a chosen one awakens to their true identity, the entire spell is broken, permanently. For generations, your ancestors lived and died under this deception, watching their birthright stolen without any chance for justice. But your awakening brings this cycle to a close, not just for yourself, but for every generation that follows. The psychological freedom you experience goes far beyond any financial restitution. This is liberation from gaslighting, release from artificial limits, and escape from the boundaries that were designed to suppress your true potential. The curse depended on your ignorance. Now knowledge has completely dismantled its foundation. For the first time, you see everything with total clarity. Relationships, motivations, recurring patterns, even the family history that was once hidden through manipulation. This new perspective doesn't stop with your own story. Your sharpened perception extends to every interaction, every dynamic that was previously clouded by the distortion field around your life. As you align with truth, your entire physical experience transforms. Tension melts away, chronic pains fade, sleep comes easier, and your body thrives as your soul aligns with reality on a cellular level. Breaking this curse doesn't just free you, it liberates everyone connected to you. Future generations inherit freedom, truth, and clarity instead of bondage, deception, and confusion. The courts have simply put into writing what the universe already knew. Your awakening was inevitable, and your restoration was guaranteed from the very beginning. Suddenly, opportunities appear from unexpected directions. Once blocked paths clear, and financial abundance begins to flow freely. Bank accounts that were drained now overflow. Investment prospects show up at just the right time, and resources effortlessly align with your needs. Influential people enter your life as if guided by fate. Mentors arrive with the wisdom you require for your next stage of growth, and protection surrounds you before you even realize you need it. Legal shields activate, financial safeguards click into place, and spiritual boundaries strengthen around your energy. Doors that were once slammed shut now open at your approach, and even institutions that once rejected you welcome your presence. Elite circles that were once out of reach now extend invitations to you. The wealth returning to you now isn't just what was stolen, it comes back multiplied, with the universe paying compound interest on every loss. Your authentic power attracts the exact people, opportunities, resources, and knowledge to support your highest purpose, all appearing at precisely the right moment with no extra struggle. This is not random luck. This is the universe's natural law rewarding you for finally standing in your truth. True authority and nobility are not just titles. They naturally attract abundance and opportunity without any effort, effortlessly drawing in what is truly aligned with your purpose. As your restoration becomes public, pay close attention to those who suddenly seek your company. Many will attempt to connect only after your victory is known, hoping to benefit from your new status. This is where discernment becomes absolutely essential. Remember, true allies are those who stood by you before your vindication. not those who come rushing in after your success. The journey you've experienced has sharpened your intuition regarding relationships. Trust this new clarity, for it now allows you to clearly distinguish genuine support from opportunistic association. You will sense the difference easily. Your inner guidance, strengthened through every trial and lesson, is now finely tuned. The universe has stationed energetic guardians at the gates of your life. Your very energy field repels deception and attracts only what is true. You'll notice subtle warnings and gut feelings activating even before your conscious mind recognizes the red flags. An internal navigation system finely calibrated through your spiritual awakening. All previous restrictions have now been lifted. Geographic limitations no longer apply. You're free to move wherever you choose. Financial constraints have dissolved, leaving you with an unrestricted flow of abundance. Social boundaries that once held you back are gone, and your expansion now faces no artificial barriers. This limitless state is your natural condition, the reality you were always meant to experience before interference and manipulation clouded your path. Now, the divine design is finally unfolding as it was always intended, without distortion or interruption. What the courts have put into legal language is simply the documentation of what cosmic law had established since the beginning. Your rightful place in the world comes with abundance, influence, protection, and the freedom to expand without limits. Cosmic justice works with flawless precision, ensuring the scales are balanced perfectly. This process wasn't just a legal dispute. It was the visible conclusion of spiritual warfare that was fought far beyond what the physical eyes could see. The conflict stretched across generations, with your opponents never truly fighting just you, but attempting to defy the universal principles that govern existence itself. Their defeat was inevitable the moment they chose deception over integrity, for no one can win against the cosmic laws that uphold truth. What is returning to you now exceeds what was stolen. Universal justice brings with it not just full restoration, but an additional blessing for enduring and overcoming the trials of temporary lack. This victory is so much more than just financial recovery. It's your complete vindication, your full restoration, and your unrestricted permission to advance and create in any direction you desire. This resolution isn't just for you. It creates precedent, clearing the way for future generations, so they face fewer barriers and less opposition, all because you broke through boundaries that once held your entire lineage captive. The ancient cycles of deception have been shattered by your awakening. The schemes that were meant to destroy you have instead become the very foundation of your elevation. Their strongest weapon against you, transformed by the universe, has become your greatest source of strength and advantage. They could not foresee this outcome. Their narrow view blinded them to the cosmic consequences of standing in the way of your rightful place. What they believed to be their temporary triumph has instead become their lasting defeat. Now this phase of manifestation moves with unstoppable momentum. Resources multiply and flow to you beyond logical explanation. Your influence expands without needing to force it. Protection automatically strengthens as your position rises. The universe delivers nothing partial or limited. Every aspect of your restoration is complete, including not only all that was stolen, but also everything you would have created had nothing been taken from you in the first place. Your role now is simply to receive, accept, and allow universal forces to orchestrate the details of your complete restoration. The legal verdict is merely the official confirmation of what was already settled spiritually. What belonged to you has returned, what was hidden has been revealed, and what was stolen has been restored, with interest. Victory was always assured. Only the timing remained uncertain. The court's ruling is the visible proof of invisible justice long in motion. Now you are free, victorious, restored, and elevated. Your future opens up before you, without any limits. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Enlighten Wisdom.